In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious fall dessert roll using squash. Welcome to the Creative City. Usually I start with a punishment challenge, but I'm not going to do the punishment challenge anymore. But if you would like me to keep doing the punishment challenge, make sure that you comment that below. I also want to encourage you to subscribe because it means a lot to me and it gives me a new spirit to create better content and to put forth more videos. So please subscribe. Thank you very much. If you would like to see this recipe, simply go to www.thecreativecity.com. The link will also be in the description. This should bring you to my website. Here I have posted a product, I will have blogs, I will have this recipe on there, and I'll have my most recent videos and an About Us page, just a whole bunch of stuff that you need to check out because it's amazing. And now let's get on with the video. I'm going to show you how to make a fall dessert roll using squash. If you're using fresh squash like I am, which you only need one squash, but I'm using two, you will need a knife, and what you're going to do is you're going to make a big slit at the bottom and then a big slit at the top. You're going to do this 3 times. 3 times on the bottom and 3 times on the top. Make sure that your slits are evenly spaced. Now I've got my 6 slits in this squash. Try saying that 3 times. Now you're going to take your squash and you're going to put it in your slow cooker and pour about 2 cups of water in there. Then you're going to start it for 4 hours on high. If you are using frozen squash, this is your time to thaw and drain it. When your squash is done, it should be nice and soft. Then take a knife and cut the squash in half the long way. Then you're going to take a spoon and scoop out all the seeds. Now that you've got the squash seeds scooped out, go ahead and start scooping out the squash and put it into a bowl. Once you have all of your squash scooped out, you should have about a cup or so of squash. Before we do anything else, we need to preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Now you're going to take a bowl and you're going to crack 3 medium eggs into this. I am starting out with the wet ingredients, although you can start out with either the wet or dry ingredients. It just depends on what you prefer. Now that you've got your eggs in your bowl, go ahead and grab an electric mixer and start mixing your eggs together. Your eggs are not done just if they're combined together. There has to be a bunch of bubbles and they have to look light and fluffy like this. Now that your eggs are fluffy, go ahead and grab your granulated sugar. You're going to add a half a cup of granulated sugar into the eggs. Now you're going to go ahead and grab your squash. Just mix your squash around once or twice to make sure that all the contents are together, and then take a 1/3 cup and add 2/3 a cup of squash into your eggs and sugar. Now you can go ahead and mix this all together. Make sure that you mix it really well. When you're done mixing, go ahead and grab your vanilla extract and add a teaspoon of that into your wet ingredients. Then go ahead and mix this one last time. Now push your wet ingredients off to the side and grab another bowl. Then grab some all-purpose flour and add 3/4 a cup of that into the bowl. Now grab your baking powder and add a teaspoon of that into the flour. Now grab some cinnamon and add 2 teaspoons of that into the flour and baking powder. Now grab some ground ginger and add a teaspoon of that on top of the dry ingredients. Then grab some ground nutmeg and add half a teaspoon of the ground nutmeg to the dry ingredients. Now grab some salt and add half a teaspoon of it to the dry ingredients. Now mix all of your dry ingredients together. Then grab your wet ingredients and pour your dry ingredients into the wet ingredients and go ahead and start mixing all of the ingredients together. When you mix, you can either use an electric mixer or just a regular old spoon. When you're done mixing the batter, it should look like this. Then go ahead and grab a pan and put some parchment paper on top. Then you can start scooping the batter onto the parchment paper. When you've got the batter on the parchment paper, take a spatula and start spreading it along the parchment paper. Try to make it into a rectangle like this. Then take this and put it into the preheated oven. Now you're going to let this bake for 12 to 15 minutes or until a toothpick can be inserted into the middle and come out clean. While this is baking, set out an 8-ounce pack of cream cheese and half a stick of butter. When it's done baking and out of the oven, still hot, take a towel and grab some powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar and sprinkle some on the towel. Once the towel is ready with powdered sugar, take the roll by the parchment paper and carefully but very quickly flip it over onto the towel. Then take the end of the towel and roll the bread of the roll up jelly roll style. When the roll is rolled up, go ahead and set the roll out until it is cooled. Now take the cream cheese and butter you had set out before and add them into a bowl. Then take an electric mixer and combine the butter and cream cheese together until smooth. Then get out your powdered sugar again and add 1/4 of a cup in. Don't put away your powdered sugar because we're going to add another 1/4 cup soon. Then mix again using the electric mixer. Then add another 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Then mix again. Then you're going to add a dash or half a teaspoon of vanilla. Then you're going to mix the frosting again. When you're done mixing the frosting, take a spatula and get around all the sides, collecting all of the frosting. Then, when your roll is cool, go ahead and unroll it. Then take your frosting and add all of it onto the roll and spread it around evenly. When the frosting is spread around evenly, go ahead and roll the roll up again. Then take the towel and wrap it around the roll. Then put the roll in the fridge for at least 2 hours. Now you can take it out of the fridge to eat it whenever you want, and whatever is left you can just put back in the fridge and you're good to go. Whenever you want to eat it, just take a knife and cut slices about 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, and before you do that, make sure you cut the ends off like I am doing here. Then you have a perfect fall dessert roll to eat. At first it sounds disgusting as a squash roll, but this fall dessert roll is absolutely amazing. It's just perfect. It's so hard to explain, but it's just amazing. You definitely have to try it for yourself. Here's the full view of the fall dessert roll, otherwise known as a squash roll. It turned out really cool and really amazing. It's just enough sweetness to cure your sweet tooth, and it's definitely a lot healthier than most desserts, especially since it was made with squash. Honestly though, if you gave this to someone and never told them that it was made out of squash, they would never know. That's how good it is. You definitely have to try this recipe for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and also make sure that you like and share this video. Thank you.